Before we close today, I'd like to just share a few things. And I like to frame it in four different areas: sacrifice, friends, recognition, and four quarters. Four quarters. Sacrifice is doing something for someone else that you may not do for yourself. And if you're not willing to sacrifice, as Jim said, you got to find your niche, find what your thing is in life, and don't be afraid to sacrifice to help humanity. Friends. A true friend will never run away from you. In a time of need, they'll run toward you and recognize you need help. When we started West Penn 25 years ago, we saw a niche because young men were killing one another. And I can remember it very vivid that there was a young man playing football that went to Burger King to get a burger and got killed. And he was a star on the football team. And so at the time, I talked to Mike Buick, and I said, what can we do to try and keep these young men and women off the street late at night? And I'm interested in maybe starting a golf program so if they got to get up early in the morning, they won't be out late at night. And that was really the thrust of starting our program. And that was 25 years ago, and it was just a small vision. Didn't know it would touch over 350 kids, I should say young men and women, and didn't know even that it was going to last this long, but God had a different plan. Because some people I share that this was actually my ministry. It wasn't yours, it wasn't yours, I'm taking ownership, it was my ministry. And so when God blesses a ministry, then usually it's designed to succeed, not fail. So if it's built on sacrifice, giving of yourself, under the guise that you're not doing it for yourself, but someone else. Because oftentimes people would ask me, I'm not going to do this for rock. Has someone heard that besides me? Or am I the only one? I'm not going to do this for rock, not recognizing you weren't doing it for me. I'm okay. I had a good job. My family was well taken care of. And this was my ministry, my calling. And so it was never really about doing it for me. It was doing it for your community. It was giving back to community so that we can be better. And someone asked about the name, and we have some guests, a young lady that I've been giving a lesson to, and their family's here today. And I wanted them to see something that when you see a name, West Penn Minority Junior Golf, most people think that all they can see is just minorities or blacks. And as you can see, that you saw the whole rainbow of people, blacks, whites, Asians, and everything. I worked with this lady here for almost 30 years, Miss Terry Teal, and her son got in her program. But I had another friend who I was giving a private lesson, and she asked me, can my daughter get in the program? And I said, sure, why not? She said, well, I thought it was just for minorities. And so I said, well, you know me better than that. I'm not prejudiced, so why would you think your daughter couldn't participate? We took kids, the only thing we asked is that they had a good attitude. We did not take bad kids. Right, John L.? Right, Rio?
Oh my God.
Right, Whitney? Whitney came to the program. She was young, and her dad came to me, and I said, "Well, she's just too young. Come back next year." I learned from that because my board chair has a granddaughter who was too young, and she said, "Rock, I got a granddaughter. She's too young," and I said, "We'll take her." I learned from that experience about making Whitney wait a year to get in our program that I wasn't going to make that same mistake with a young lady now who's playing golf in college because we let her in our program. So as you go through life, I would like to say, as you're old now, you matriculate through life. That was for you, Jim. Then what happens is, if you're not learning, you're dying. And the other thing is, you don't know where someone is, where they are. You don't know the issues. And so we got to be mindful that we got to do more things in love versus just doing it because we call ourselves something else. If love can't be our answer and our motivation, then we're really walking this earth in vain. Because the God I serve, I know he's a God of love. And if you don't believe it, just live long enough. Because God has blessed West Penn as my ministry, that now God is also telling me it's time for me to retire. Just as people walk and you come of an age, you recognize when it's time to retire. I retired from a day job from 41 years, only to take a part-time job that I seem like I'm working more now doing golf, that I think I got to quit sooner versus later, except my friends keep coming up now and we keep playing a whole lot of golf up there, and it's okay. But relative to West Penn, I'm looking for someone to succeed that I would be willing to work with so that we can have this thing go 25 more years. I spoke to a couple people about that, and my prayer is that what we, the coaches, me, Don, Norman, Jeff, Calvin, Jim Skipwith, who's not here, try and pour into all these kids is just, there was a gentleman when I was 9 years old learning how to play baseball that took time with me to teach me how to play. So therefore, it taught me a lesson that when I became of age, that what I wanted to do was give back. Many of us talk about, I'm West Penn for life. West Penn Minority Junior Golf for life. Anybody remember those? For life. What does that really mean? I can say my good friend, Dr. Whittier, has been there for the life of West Penn. All the way from North Carolina, we have a one-day event, he's here. Always here. The original board member. Many others have done that also, and I appreciate your support. My friend Dr. Sams and his lovely wife, they had a son in the program and they felt compelled to come and support and be. But if we gonna do things in love, we gotta take a stand when somebody say, it's for me. It's not me. Just as today was not about me, it was about John L. Montgomery, it was about Rio Hawkins, it was about Whitney Young, and it was about Aaron Oliver. who was this small coming to the program and now have grown up to be nice young men and women. Stand up, you guys. Y'all look so nice. And Rio, I remember hollering at you.
All the time. But I love it. I want to trade one.
Most of the time.
You make me laugh.
I would say, Rio, come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. The coaches don't want to talk about it, but we remember times when we went down to Virginia and we had to bust into the room.
Hey, listen, wait. That's the
Rio talk, first thing Rio say, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. But you know the funny thing about it though? Us and the coaches on the side, y'all weren't supposed to know that, this piece. We said if we were those young men like them, we would have been doing the same thing. The same thing. But we had to discipline you guys and let you know it wasn't right. We were your mentors. We were once young, and now we're old. You were once young, and now you're old. And so the expectation is someday someone will look to you and say, that person really loved me. And with that, I bid you Godspeed, God bless, and may God be with you. Good night.